In the dark side of the moon, where no one watches, something huge was being built. Earth was quiet. No news, no broadcasts. But deep under the surface, machines worked day and night. The workers called it Project Silence. Only the top leaders of Earth knew the truth. It was not just a ship. It was something else, something dangerous. For years, humans had watched the stars. They knew they were not alone. Many alien races had already formed a group, the Galactic Council. This council believed they ruled the galaxy. They made rules, signed treaties, and kept the peace. But they never invited Earth. They thought humans were too young, too emotional, too violent. The humans didn't forget that insult. Commander Riker stood at the edge of a giant hangar. The walls shook every few seconds. The metal monster in front of him was almost complete. It was 5 kilometers long. Like space. Sharp like a blade, and quiet. Deadly quiet. They called it Leviathan. No one in the galaxy had ever seen a ship like this. Status? Riker asked. An engineer replied, Final systems coming online. Weapons ready. Energy core stable. She's alive, sir. Riker smiled. Then it's time. The lights inside the hangar changed. A deep hum began to rise. One by one, lights lit. Up across Leviathan's body. Red, then blue, then white. Its engines glowed. Its eyes opened. Leviathan was awake, far away. In council space, alarms started going off. An AI scout near Earth picked up strange signals. Power levels too high. Engine readings unknown. Then it saw Leviathan. For a few seconds, before the feed cut out, the council went silent. What? What is that? Asked one of the alien leaders. A tall being made of silver light. A human weapon, another whispered. No, that's not a weapon. That's a message. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Earth was building a ship too strong, too fast. No one had asked them. No one had warned them. It was a threat. It was a dangerous one. The vote was quick, unanimous. The human ship was declared a galactic crisis. On Earth, Riker got the Council's message. They wanted answers. They wanted to come. They wanted to stop Leviathan. But Riker said nothing. Instead, he sent a simple reply. Too late. 1 week later, a fleet of Council warships entered Earth's space. 20 ships, like fully armed. They stopped near the moon. Just outside the orbit, the lead alien commander opened a channel. This is Council Ship Veritas. You are holding illegal technology. Let's power down your ship, or we will open fire. No response. The commander repeated louder this time, still nothing. Then, stars disappeared behind them. The Leviathan moved. Silently, it drifted out of the moon's shadow. Its engines burned quietly. Its shape blocked their sensors. No signals. No weapons active, just ... watching. The commander froze. What kind of ship is this? Suddenly, a human voice came through. This is Leviathan, said Riker. You do not understand what you are playing with. Step back, the alien commander shouted. You threaten the Council. He never finished. One of the smaller Council ships locked weapons by mistake. It was nervous, scared, and it fired. A blue beam flew across space. It hit. Leviathan, no damage. The Leviathan reacted instantly. Its core glowed. A soft pulse spread out in all directions. And then, nothing. The Council fleet's power systems shut. Down, engines, weapons, shields, offline. Every ship floated in silence. The Council commander gasped. How? Riker spoke again, calm and cold. We didn't build it for war. Not against you. The Council ships were allowed to leave. No one was hurt. Earth had changed. Earth had changed. Humanity had built something not for war, but for something bigger, something darker, something the galaxy didn't know about yet. And Leviathan was only the beginning, far beyond the stars. Something ancient stirred, something that remembered Earth, and it was coming back. The Galactic Council had never been so quiet. 20 of their best warships had returned from Earth's space. Powerless, humiliated. Their captains were silent, their crews shaken. One thing was clear: Earth had changed. But no one understood why the humans had built such a deadly ship. Was it to attack? To defend? Or something worse? The only name the council had was Leviathan. On a council station near the star Vega, reporters shouted questions. Is Earth preparing for war? Will the council retaliate? Why didn't the humans warn us? No one had answers. Behind closed doors, the council argued, this ship is too powerful. A tall lizard-like being said. It can shut down entire fleets with one pulse. They didn't even use their full weapons, whispered another. They let us go. That's a message. An insectoid elder clicked its mandibles.
Well, we beware, way wrong, way more, way where, way 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 are way 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 why are way to where way to grow wine grayer out will correct whatever will way
A younger voice broke in. It was Tlani, a small, blue-skinned diplomat from a peaceful race. She said maybe they didn't build it for us. Maybe they built it for something else. The others laughed at her, but she didn't smile. Back on Earth, the Leviathan floated above the planet like a silent guardian. No signals. No movement. But always watching. Inside, Commander Riker walked through the main bridge. Status, he asked. A young officer replied, all systems green. Energy levels stable. Stealth. Field at 100%. Council ships still watching, but they keep their distance. Riker nodded. Let them. They need to be afraid. But deep down he wasn't proud. He wasn't angry. He was worried. They were running out of time. 3 council ships stayed behind. Circling Earth from afar, they weren't ordered to attack. Only observe. But curiosity is dangerous. Captain Eshrika, strong reptilian warrior, couldn't take it anymore. We must test it. Find its weakness, he growled. His crew hesitated. We are not ordered to engage. Just scan it, he said. From a distance, they began a deep scan of Leviathan, and for a moment, everything was fine. Then a sharp alarm rang out. On Leviathan, systems detected the scan. Its defense AI activated instantly. Commander Riker got the alert. Sir, said the officer. There, probing us. Deep scan. No weapon lock yet. Riker paused. Show them why that's a bad idea. Outside, a small drone launched from Leviathan. It moved fast. Too fast to track. It reached the council ship in seconds. Then it just stopped right in front of the ship's bridge window. Ashraka stared at the small black orb floating before him. Then it spoke. Don't. No more sound. No attack. The drone returned to Leviathan, but the message was clear. Ashraka stepped back from the window. His heart pounding, he gave the order. Fall back now. The council was furious. This is unacceptable. They threaten our ships. Must explain. An urgent call was made to Earth. This time, the council demanded direct communication. Earth answered. A video screen opened. Commander Riker appeared. He looked tired. Serious, you want answers? He said, fine, here's the truth. He paused. Leviathan was not made for war with the council. It was made because we found something. Something old. Something terrible. Council. Members leaned forward. What did you find? Asked one. Riker replied. A signal from the edge of the galaxy. A voice. Heard for 1,000,000 years. A voice. What did it say? Riker looked straight into the camera. It said, we are coming. Back on the Leviathan, a secret room opened. Inside was a glowing sphere, ancient, not human. It pulsed with strange symbols. It was not technology. It was a warning. Humans had found it on a dark planet near the galactic rim, and ever since then, Earth had been preparing for them. On the council station, panic began to spread. If he's telling the truth, then we are not ready. Leviathan isn't the threat, Tlani whispered. It's the shield. No one laughed now, far beyond the edge of known space. In the dark between galaxies, something moved, something massive, with eyes like black suns and hunger older than time. They had heard Earth's signal, and they were smiling. The message spread fast, across star systems, space stations, and alien worlds. One name echoed everywhere: Leviathan. Rumors filled the galaxy. Some said it could crush planets. Others said it used a living AI that could think like a god. Many believed it was Earth's first move in a plan to conquer the stars. But no one really knew the truth, and fear was growing. In a marketplace on the planet Kazari, a merchant shouted, "Did you hear? The humans built a ship that made the council run." A crowd gathered. Alien faces full of fear and curiosity. They say it turned off 20 warships without even firing a weapon. Impossible. I heard it eat stars. Nonsense. But why would humans build something like that? No one had answers. Just questions. In the capital of the Galactic Council, the leaders met again. Inside the Great Crystal Hall, hundreds of alien delegates argued loudly. They must be planning to attack. No, they're protecting themselves. The humans cannot be trusted. Plani, the young blue-skinned diplomat, stood up again. She spoke calmly. I met a human once, she said. He told me something I still remember. We never fight first. But we always finish the fight. The room fell quiet. Talani continued. Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe we should ask, what are they afraid of? The older council members rolled their eyes, but one of them, an elder, with golden skin and ancient eyes, nodded slowly. We ignored Earth for too long, he said. Now they've built a monster, not to rule the galaxy, but to protect it. Back on Earth, Leviathan floated in low orbit, watching. Inside the command bridge, Commander Riker sat with his officers. Hologram of the Council's space. Map glowed before them. It showed recent sensor data, strange signals, stars dimming, whole systems. Going silent, a young officer looked nervous, sir. That's the 5th colony that stopped transmitting this week. Stared at the map. His voice was low. They're getting closer. It's in the deep of space. On an old mining station at the galaxy's edge, a warning alarm screamed. Miners ran through tight hallways. Red lights flashed. Emergency power only, someone yelled. Shields failing outside the station. There was nothing. No ships, no explosions, just darkness. And in that darkness, shapes moved, silent, large. Too fast. The final broadcast was one word: shadows. Then silence. The council received the message an hour later. They refused to believe it. But not all alien races listened to the council. In secret, some began reaching out to Earth. They sent messages. What are you really fighting? Earth responded. With data, recordings, energy scans, and one terrifying image. A black figure, 10 kilometers long, moving like smoke, devouring light. One alien scientist whispered, "This is not a ship. This is something ancient, something wrong." They gave it a name, the Hollow Ones. Fear turned into chaos. Some races began building new weapons. Others tried to hide, running to deep space. A few even begged the humans for help. But the council stayed silent. They didn't want panic, so they called it lies. False alarms, human tricks. But more systems were going dark. And now, even council warships began to disappear. On Leviathan, Riker watched the galaxy fall into fear. They still don't believe, he said quietly. His second-in-command, LT Kara, stepped forward. Then maybe it's time to show them what we're really protecting? Riker thought for a moment, then nodded. Send the warning. All of it. Every major race received the message, a simple file. 1 minute long, it showed footage from a lost Earth science ship at the edge of the galaxy. In the video, a black sky twisted like water. Stars blinked out one by one. Then a shape emerged, tall, thin, with no eyes, no mouth. Just endless, empty. Space where a face should be. The crew screamed, then static and silence. At the end of the video, Leviathan's symbol appeared. A voice said, "We are not preparing for war. We are preparing for extinction. Join us, or hide. Earth will stand. With or without you." The galaxy held its breath. Some races started to believe. Others began to panic. But one thing was now clear to all. The humans had built Leviathan for a reason, and that reason was coming. The Leviathan turned. Its engines lit up like small suns. Energy flowed through its black hole, and a low hum filled the silence of space. But it wasn't heading toward the Council. It was heading toward the edge of the galaxy, the Galactic Rim. Inside the command bridge, Commander Riker stood in front of a large star map. Dots of light filled the screen. Some were red. Those were systems that had already gone dark. No signal, no life. LT Kara looked at him. "Sir, we're really doing this." Riker nodded. "We can't wait anymore. If the Council won't act, we will." The crew stared at the screen in silence. They all knew what was out there. The Void Zone. A place where no ship returned. A place without stars, without time. A place where something was waking up. Back at the Galactic Council, the leaders were in panic. There, moving again. Straight into the rim. They must be insane, or get themselves killed. Talani stood calmly in the middle of the shouting. She spoke one line, or maybe, "They're going to stop what we won't." The room went quiet. Of the elder beings turned to her. "You still trust them, child?" Talani nodded. "I don't trust humans, Elder. I believe them." And with that, she left the room. She had made her choice. Days later, Leviathan reached the outer edge of the known galaxy. Stars became fewer. Light faded. The ship entered the Void Zone. The crew felt it immediately, like pressure on their minds, like something watching them. "Shields holding," reported Kara. "But something's wrong." Outside the ship, darkness moved like smoke. It wasn't just space. It was alive. Old recordings called this place the Black Shore. Long ago, a lost alien race sent a warning from here. Only one sentence survived: "Do not follow the light. It lies." Suddenly, an object appeared ahead. An old, broken alien ship. Massive, ancient. The crew scanned it. No life signs. But inside, they found something. A glowing crystal. Still active. Still sending data. Riker had it brought to the lab. As they decoded it, strange symbols appeared on the screen. It showed images of them tall, shadow-like creatures with long arms and hollow eyes. The recordings called them the Hollow Ones. They were not from this galaxy. They were older, hungry, and coming back. The lights on Leviathan flickered. "Something's close," yelled an officer. "Shields up." "Weapons ready," Riker ordered. Then, everything went silent. The ship stopped. Moving, even sound seemed to vanish. A voice soft, cold, filled the minds of the crew. "You burn too bright. You are not welcome here. Turn back, or be unmade." The crew screamed.
"Hey, some fainted."
Others grabbed their heads in pain, but Riker stayed standing. He stared into the darkness and spoke calmly. "We're not here to hide. We're here to stop you," the voice replied. "Then you shall be first to fall." And just like that, the shadows attacked. Black shapes hit Leviathan like waves. They didn't use weapons. They used gravity, sound, fear. The hull groaned. Under pressure, some systems went dark, but Leviathan fought back. Its weapons lit up the darkness, beams of white plasma and bursts of antimatter. The shadows screamed. Their forms cracked like glass, but they kept coming. One got through the shields that entered the bridge. The crew watched in horror as the air around them turned cold. Riker stepped forward. He pulled a strange weapon from his side, not human-made. He fired. A beam of light struck the shadow and it vanished. Kara gasped. "Sir, that was alien tech." Riker nodded. "From the signal Earth found, they left us a weapon, a way to fight back." "But why us?" Kara asked. "Because they knew. Only humans are crazy enough to use it." The battle lasted 3 hours. In the end, Leviathan stood, damaged but alive. The shadows fell back, hissing. Whispering into the void, one last message echoed in the crew's minds. "You are not ready, but we are patient." Then they were gone. On Earth, people watched the transmission from Leviathan. Everyone saw what lay beyond the galaxy. Everyone saw the truth. The Council finally said nothing. They had waited too long now.
Oh.
It was up to the humans to finish what others had started. Commander Riker sat alone on the bridge. Kara joined him. "Do you think they'll come back?" she asked. Riker looked into the dark window. "They never left." He looked down at the galaxy behind them. "It's time to wake." "The others, we can't fight this alone," Kara asked. "The Council." Riker shook his head. "No, the rest of humanity." The galaxy had been quiet for too long, but now the silence was broken. Across the outer systems, sensors flashed red. Ships vanished, stars dimmed, and a new signal pulsed through deep space, not made by any known species. It carried no words, just one feeling: dread. Inside Leviathan. Alarms rang through every level. Red lights flashed. Crew members ran to battle stations. Commander Riker stood at the center of the bridge, staring at the dark space outside. "We found them," he said softly. "Or maybe they found us." LT Kara's voice shook. "We're detecting movement. Multiple contacts. No heat, no light. There. Just there." On the screen, black shapes floated toward them, slow and silent like drifting shadows. Then they rushed forward. Fast. Too fast. "Brace for impact," Riker shouted. The first wave hit. The attack was like nothing they had ever faced. There were no lasers, no missiles, just darkness, pure living darkness. It passed through shields like smoke. It drained power. It whispered in the crew's minds. Some officers collapsed. Others screamed and clawed at their helmets. Kara gritted her teeth. "They're inside our heads." Riker activated Leviathan's core shield. A pulse of pure white energy exploded out from the ship. The shadows screamed and pulled back. The ship shook. Hull plates bent. Lights flickered. But Leviathan held, barely far away. The Council finally reacted. Reports flooded in. Trade stations gone dark. Patrol fleets missing. A moon-sized creature spotted devouring a sun. Panic spread. Earth was right. Someone shouted. "We should have helped them." Lonnie stood in the middle of the chaos. Her voice was clear. "Then help them now. For it's too late." Council made a decision, late but honest. They would send reinforcements to Leviathan, back on the ship. Riker watched the enemy regroup. "They're learning," he said. "Every time we fight, they adapt." Kara asked, "How do we stop something that learns faster than us?" Riker walked to the main console. He tapped a locked file, by using something even they don't understand. The crew stared at the file's title. Project Echo Core. Riker entered his command code. "Open it."
How?
Below Leviathan's main deck was a hidden chambered inside was a strange machine, part human. It's part alien. It glowed softly like a heartbeat. "This is our last weapon," Riker said. "Built from ancient tech. Powered by something we don't even fully understand." One engineer stepped back. "Sir, we've never tested it. If we don't use it now," Riker said, "there won't be a later." The Echo Core came online, and Leviathan changed. Its hull shimmered. Systems rewrote themselves, and then it spoke. "I am awake." The crew froze. The AI was alive, more than alive. It was something new, something born from war and fear. Riker nodded slowly. "Welcome to the fight." The next wave came, hundreds of shadow ships, but this time Leviathan was ready. Its weapons fired faster, smarter, stronger. The AI predicted attacks before they happened. Each blast of energy ripped through the darkness. The shadows screamed louder now. They weren't just fighting a ship anymore. They were fighting a mind. A human mind. Merged with alien knowledge. And they didn't like it. But the enemy had. One more surprise from the edge of the system. Something massive appeared. 10 times the size of Leviathan. Its body was made of stars and bones. Its eyes were black holes. Kara whispered, "That's not a ship?" "No," Riker said. "That's a god." The Hollow King had arrived. And it was angry. The battle that followed lit up the sky. Council reinforcements dropped out of hyperspace. Dozens of ships from different species. They fought together. Humans, aliens, old enemies now side by side. But even together, they struggled. The Hollow King bent reality around itself. Matter broke. Then Leviathan made its move. Echo, core activated fully. The ship charged forward alone, straight at the Hollow King. Riker stood tall, for Earth, for the galaxy. And Leviathan fired everything it had. The Hollow King roared. The shadows screamed and space itself cracked. When the light faded, there was silence. No one moved. Then Leviathan's signal came through. "We're still here," Riker said, "but we hurt it badly." Cheers broke out across the Allied fleet. They had done the impossible. They had faced the dark. Survived. But deep in the void, the Hollow King floated. Silently, wounded, watching, waiting. This was not the end. It was just the beginning. Leviathan was still floating, but barely. Its hull was cracked, its shields weak. Sparks flew from open panels. Smoke filled parts of the ship, but it was alive, and the Hollow King was gone for now. Commander Riker stood in silence on the bridge. His hands were shaking. He didn't show it, LT. Kara stepped beside him. "We did it. We stopped it." Riker looked at the dark space ahead. "No," he said. Across the galaxy, the battle was called a miracle. For the first time in history, humans and alien species had fought side by side, together, against a common enemy. Some called Leviathan a hero. Others still called it a threat, but one thing was now clear to everyone: the shadows were real, and they were coming back in the council chamber. Panic returned. Some races wanted to hide. Others wanted to build more ships. Many still refused to trust Earth. Why should we follow the humans? One alien leader shouted, "They bring war wherever they go." T'Lani stood up. Calm, strong. "No," she said. "War follows them, because they're the only ones who fight it." Her words spread across the stars. Some listened, some didn't, but a choice had to be made. Back on Leviathan, Riker called a meeting of his remaining officers. His voice was firm. "We can't do this alone anymore. The next wave will be worse." "What if the Council still refuses to help?" Kara asked. Riker stared at the stars. "Then we remind them what extinction looks like." Earth sent a final message to every race in the galaxy. The broadcast showed footage of the Hollow King, the shadows, the battle. The damage at the end. Riker appeared on screen. He spoke slowly. "You're not asking for power. You're not asking for control. We are asking for help. Join us. Or burn with us. Enemy is not coming. It is already here." It's a message echoed from planet to planet, from the smallest outpost to the richest homeworld. Now, it was up to them. In the days that followed, something changed. Ships began to arrive at Leviathan's side. Not from the Council, but from the people. Individual fleets. Small nations. Old enemies. Aliens who had lost. Systems. Families. Homes. They brought engineers. Weapons. Fuel. Soldiers. They were tired of waiting. They had made their choice. T'Lani was one of the first to arrive. She stepped onto Leviathan's hangar deck and walked straight to Riker. He looked surprised. "You left the Council?" asked. "I didn't leave," she said. "I chose the right side." Riker smiled. "Then welcome to the fight." A week later, a massive new fleet had formed. made of hundreds of ships, from dozens of races. It wasn't perfect. They didn't always agree. They didn't trust each other fully. But they had one thing in common. They wanted to live. While Leviathan was being repaired, Riker met with the new leaders in a dark room with a round table. They discussed the next step. "We have one chance," said a reptilian commander. "Before the Hollow King returns." Riker nodded. "Then we strike first." The plan was risky. They would go deeper into the Void Zone, past where even Leviathan had gone. Their target, a hidden energy source found by Echo Core. It could be the key to defeating the Hollow Ones, or it could be a trap. Riker looked around the table. "I won't order anyone to come, but I'm going." One by one, the others stood. So did Tlani. "You won't go alone." The fleet launched the next day. As the stars faded behind them, one officer whispered, "This is no longer just a human fight. This was a war for the whole galaxy." But far away, in the darkness, the Hollow King watched. It had learned from its mistake. It had seen Leviathan's mind, the AI, the fire in human eyes, and it was preparing something. Worse, a new kind of shadow, stronger, smarter, hungry. The next time, it would not retreat. It would consume everything, unless this strange, broken, angry alliance could stop it. Alliance or extinction. There was no third option. The fleet moved forward. Hundreds of ships, human, alien, old enemies now side by side, flew into the darkest part of the galaxy. They called it the Dead Zone. No light, no time, no signals, just silence and death. Inside Leviathan, Commander, Riker stood on the bridge, staring at the black window. "We go in now," he said. "No turning back, LT." Kara nodded. "The fleet is ready. Everyone knows the risk." Riker looked at the map. There was no safe path. Only shadows ahead, but they had no choice. The Hollow King was preparing something worse. If they waited, the galaxy would fall. They had to strike first. The ships entered the Dead Zone, one by one. Stars disappeared behind them, inside their ships. Crews felt it a cold touch, like fear crawling on their skin. They were being watched. Whispers filled the comms. "You should not be here. Turn back. It is too late." Some ships broke formation. Others kept moving. Leviathan stayed in the center, its lights cutting through the dark like a blade. Suddenly, dash contact. The shadows attacked. They came like a storm. Thousands of dark shapes. Fast, silent, hungry. The fleet opened fire. Lasers, missiles, plasma blasts. The space lit up like a sun. But it wasn't enough. The Hollow Ones had changed. They were stronger, smarter. They tore through shields. They entered ships. They filled minds with madness. On the edge of the battle, 3 alien vessels were lost in seconds. No signals, just silence. Inside Leviathan, the Echo Core activated. Targeting patterns analyzed, calculating countermeasures. Ship fired a massive pulse wave, a ring of white light that pushed the shadows back. It gave the fleet time to regroup. But the Hollow King had not shown itself yet. Riker gritted his teeth. He's waiting, watching. Kara asked, "What is he waiting for?" Riker's face went cold. "For us to fall apart." On a nearby ship, Tlani led her crew through chaos. Her weapons officer screamed, "We're surrounded." Tlani stood firm. "Hold position, Leviathan." "Will cover us?" another officer asked. "How do you know?" Tlani smiled slightly, because they always do. Suddenly, shadow creatures slammed into their ship's hull. Screams filled the ship, but then, flash of blue light. Leviathan's beam weapon hit the shadow and vaporized it. The crew cheered. Hope returned. But then, everything stopped. The lights died. Weapons powered down. Leviathan shut off. Kara gasped. "Sir, systems offline. Total blackout." The bridge went dark. Only Riker stood still. He knew what was happening. The Hollow King had arrived. Outside, space twisted. A tear opened. Not a wormhole. Not a portal. Something worse. From it came the Hollow King, bigger than before, his body made of stars and bones. His voice echoed without sound. This galaxy belongs to us. You delay the end, but you cannot stop it. A ship shook from his presence alone. Some crews fell to the floor, whispering, crying. Riker looked around. He grabbed the comm mic and shouted, "To all ships, this is it. Fight, even if you're afraid, even if you fall. Fight for those who can't." Leviathan's core flared back to life. Its AI spoke clearly, "We are not alone." And suddenly, new ships entered the battle. More allies, more species. Some who had stayed silent finally joined. The galaxy had awakened. The Hollow King turned his head for the first time. He felt something strange. Pressure. The final battle began. Leviathan led the charge, firing every weapon, pushing deeper into the heart of the dark. Ships fell. Heroes died. But they kept fighting together. For every lost world, for every voice. Silenced by the shadows, for the future, Riker activated Leviathan's final weapon, a device hidden in the Echo Core. A light bomb. It used the energy of a dying star. But it had one cost. Someone had to stay behind to trigger it. Kara grabbed his arm. "Can't?" Riker smiled. "I have to." He handed her command. "Get them out. Save what we built." She held his hand for one moment, then nodded and ran. The fleet began to retreat. Kara shouted into comms. All ships moved to safe distance. The Hollow King rushed forward to stop them, but it was too late. Inside Leviathan, Riker stood alone at the glowing core. He pressed one button and said one word. "Burn." The sky lit up. A light stronger than any sun exploded through the dead zone. The Hollow King screamed, and then silence, far away. The fleet watched as the darkness faded. The Hollow Ones were gone. Leviathan was gone, and so was Riker. But the galaxy was alive and free. For now, the war was over. The shadows were gone. The Hollow King destroyed, but the stars did not cheer. They were quiet. They were mourning. Leviathan had fallen, and so had Commander Riker. Across the galaxy, people stood still. On Earth, children watched the sky, searching for the ship that had once protected them. On alien worlds, leaders lowered their flags. Even the Galactic Council held a moment of silence, not out of duty, but out of respect. Humanity had done what no one else could. They had stopped the end, but it had cost them everything. In the weeks after the final battle, the survivors returned home. Ships limped back through hyperspace. Some were damaged, some had no captain left, but they returned with something new: unity, for the first time in history. Hundreds of species stood together, not because they were the same, but because they had all faced the same fear, and survived. LT Kara was now in command. She stood on a rebuilt station orbiting Earth. Behind her, a giant monument was being finished, the shape of Leviathan carved from black stone, aimed at the stars. A voice spoke behind her. T'Lani he would have hated this, she said quietly. Kara smiled sadly. Yeah. He didn't want statues. T'Lani nodded. He wanted peace. And maybe now. It was possible. The new Galactic Assembly was born, not ruled by fear, but by memory. They called it the Pact of Leviathan. No race would be left alone again. No warning would be ignored, and no darkness would rise. Unchallenged, the symbol of the pact was a star, wrapped in a shield of fire. Simple, strong human, but even in peace. Some things were lost forever. Parts of space were still empty, broken by the Hollow King's attack. Some ships never returned. Some voices never answered. And Leviathan was truly gone. No signal, no trace, just silence. Then, one day, a small probe returned. It had been launched before the battle. It carried one file. A message from Riker. Kara played it on the main screen. His voice was calm. Clear, if you're hearing. This. I'm gone. That's okay. We all go someday. But I want you to remember something. We didn't build Leviathan to win. We built it to give you a chance. Not to survive, but to change. We built a weapon, yes, but we used it as a shield. That's the human way. Ah! And maybe now, it can be your way too. The message ended. No music. No goodbye. Just truth. And hope. Years passed. New ships were built bigger. Better, safer, but none had the same name. None were called Leviathan. That name was retired, respected. Sacred, it belonged to one ship only, and to the people who flew with her. Some say Leviathan's AI still lives, floating deep in the dead zone. Watching, waiting. Some believe Riker's mind merged with the Echo Core, now part of the stars. Others say the ship will return one day, when the galaxy needs it most, but those are stories, legends, and maybe. That's okay, because peace doesn't need heroes, it needs memory, it needs courage, and it needs people willing to stand when others fall. The galaxy had paid a great price for peace, but it had earned something greater in return. A future, a chance, and that was enough.